I really enjoy these kind of videos where I don't have to address CECIL directly, which I'm trying to do, because there's no point in me addressing CECIL if he's not going to flip and reply back to what I'm saying. But Shredder has wrote a reply to my last video, so I'm going to we're going to react to that.
Krusty, thank you for sharing that video that I made. I'd like to apologize if when I originally asked the question, if it came out a little confusing sounding. Sometimes I'm bad at that because I'm doing these things on the fly. And believe me, you guys, I know where Krusty stands in the whole picture of the thing. I feel like I have a pretty good idea anyways. Krusty is one of the best people I've ever met in this community. And he proves that to me and to us every single day. The guy is, to me, the guy is a giant. Okay? We're lucky to have him on our team, and I mean that with every ounce of my being. But yeah, what I was saying is, it blows me away how CECIL puts out all this evidence on himself, yet then comes back and denies everything. It's mind-blowing, mind-boggling.
Right, yeah, the beginning of the last video, it was kind of slightly confusing, but then I kind of got it. It was fine. I understand it because I'm not CECIL. You know, me being a giant, I don't know about that. I think, I mean, like, you as Master Shredder have kept on CECIL's neck for a long time. You know, and another big giant to all of this, and only does one video a month, not even daily uploads or anything like that, is Random News. Because Random News basically puts everything into context, if you know what I mean. So I'm sort of limited in what I can do. I'm not, you see, before I had this kind of screen recording that, I'm not very good with computers, but before that, I was actually editing videos, and it was taking me a long time, and I'm kind of sick of CECIL wasting my time, yet I still want a resolution, and I've questioned myself lately on being the opposition to CECIL, and I get carried away and call him an idiot and stuff. And if I have brought the group into some sort of disrepute, I apologise for that, and I'm going to try and change. Now, people might be saying that, you know, it's good, it brings humour to the thing, but two wrongs don't make a right. I know CECIL is calling us all idiots and all the rest of it, but it's very important that we keep our composure, and we keep our, you know, we try to keep it clean on this side. You know, another thing that we have to keep an eye on is some people are going over to CECIL's channel and really sending horrible comments. You know, and we're not necessarily associated with those people. And like, if they're, you know, and that doesn't help us in any way. You know, going over and being really angry and you know, that kind of thing, it doesn't help the cause overall. But, you know, we have to stick together. We have to make sure that we do things properly, because if we have to talk to law enforcement and we have to show videos and stuff, and we're there mucking about, it may not look necessarily good for us, if you know what I mean. You know, it can't be any worse than what CECIL puts out there, but even though Cecil throws a lot at us, we have to remain composed and professional, if you know what I mean, in order to move forward. Because in this current form, this what we're doing, reacting to videos and laughing about, and it's sometimes kind of funny in that. Where we get going with this? Here's a problem too. There is a number of people that were doing a lot of videos spreading awareness that have now left the scene. I kind of question why that is, and what I think is Cecil is just basically he's pulling us all along to do the same thing. We need to stop that. We need to have some sort of resolution in a proper way. I don't know exactly what that is, because Cecil already opened that opportunity about talking to Cecil, and yourself and RV went on, and Cecil liked the whole way through talking to RV. So that ended up like a shit show. It was flipping funny, but it tells me that negotiations live isn't going to work with Cecil. Here's another thing, and it's I don't know what's the ins and outs of regulations of guns, the possession of firearms in the US. Presume you can't be a felon, and etc., etc. But I'm sort of questioning. This guy comes on video showing off his gun, and the videos that he is putting out has a lot of evidence of being mentally impaired, if you know where I'm going with that one. As well as that, he's regularly coming on, making videos, talking about his trolls, talking about all the fucktards. So shout out to all the fucktards. And he has his gun on his waist. Mentally inside, he's pointing that gun at us. He's actually threatening us with that gun. But he is kept within the law by keeping it in his trousers. It's very apparent by his tone of language that he is trying to intimidate us with firearms. It's one thing to watch out for, because that might be the straw that might break the camel's back in future. So I don't know. But yeah, there's another thing, right? There's another thing. This fundraising stuff. I'm going to ask people not to go over there on Cecil's page and pretend that you donated money and ask where the money is, because it ends up being a mess. Cecil has created a mess, because there was a comment on my channel, and the person seemed to be very, very genuine, that she contributed money and it went to the wrong place, and Cecil is blocking these people and saying that they're trolls. But this person seemed to be genuine. I don't know this person at all, not part of our group. So in case Cecil wants to accuse us of a sabotage campaign, that's not the way I work. But I would ask people not to do that kind of thing, because it only complicates things for us, if you know what I mean. But I would love for this to be all over. you know. And I'd love to just put all my focus into my other channel, you know, because sometimes actually covering CECIL can be a bit draining, and it's a draining for a lot of people. But they're passionate about, you know, stopping somebody spreading dangerous propaganda. You know, that's exactly what he's doing, you know, in supporting the fact that kids are he's basically what he was doing in the past is putting out the message that kids are small adults, you know, by 10-year-olds are fully developed and blah 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 blah. But anybody with sort of half a brain would delete their socials, delete their YouTube channels, and get off social media, and possibly maybe come back without showing their face and use a voice changer or something like that, you know, and stay under the radar or whatever. But CECIL is hanging on, and he's been hanging on for a long time. But are we making progress? That's a question that I'm asking, and what we can't keep doing the same thing. We have to do something that ends this conflict. And usually ending conflict means negotiations with the opposition party. But the problem we have with the opposition party, which is CECIL, is that when you are on live stream with CECIL, he tends to behave in the same sort of way, in completely and utterly lying. You know, we have the evidence. It's there, clear as day. It's there, clear for everybody. Do you know? And why he wants to go down this route of you know, sweeping stuff under the mat and pretending it's not happening, I don't honestly get it, and that what gives me the impression that there's something not quite right. You know, he's not playing with the full deck here. And somebody not playing with the full deck and is carrying weapons and showing off and that's a kind of a concern too. And, you know, yeah, I mean, like, social services were called twice, I think it was. That, we don't know exactly what the results from social services were, but it didn't deter him from continuing to act in the same way. So something's amiss, you know. But at least social services are most likely now aware of this channel. Police are most likely aware of his channel, you know. But he doesn't take that into account. It's kind of weird. You would think when there is a tension like that put on you, that you would change your behaviour in some sort of way. But it doesn't deter CECIL from doing what he's doing. You know? So, I don't know. But we sort of have to, at some stage, try and kill off or finish this source of content that we use on our particular channels. You know, CECIL thinks that we do this for views. We don't. If we were doing this for views, why would we be trying to find some sort of resolution? Do you know? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for more information to come out? Or, you know, what? I question it a lot. What's the next step? Because we can't keep going around in circles. Because at the end of the day, CECIL is pulling us around in circles. He is actually controlling us in some sort of way. And we need to take that control from him. You know, because he's flipping, he's He's captain the ship here, not us. We're passengers at the moment, you know. So we need to we need to fire the captain, and we need to take control of the ship. How do we do that? I don't know. You know. That's all I have for you. But it's nice to be able to talk and address somebody else other than been talking directly to CECIL. I'm going to try and stop talking directly to CECIL, because it's a waste of flipping time. Because largely I'm ignored by CECIL, so why address him? But maybe sometime down the line he will see the videos and that. But we're trying to resolve this thing rather than make it worse. Because at the end of the day, it has to finish sometime. And we have to think, what's the strategy here? We have to think long term, because people are going to come, make videos and that. After a certain amount of time, they're going to get fed up and they're going to move on to something else, which a number of people have, because they felt like nothing is changing. It's all the same. It's the same. CECIL does these kitchen rants, but there's no substance to it, because it's all the same. You guys are idiots. You guys are fucktards, and I'm a good person. And then a list of 1, 2, or 3, and 3 why he's a good person kind of. It's the same old shit. Videos edited, blah 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 blah, and you guys are idiots for believing it, and blah blah blah. Same shite. It's relatively the same thing. So we need change. We need change. We need some sort of action, and I don't know exactly where we're going at the moment, but I'm going to stick on his neck. I'm going to keep doing this until we find some sort of resolution. That this guy is not regurgitating the events of what happened to these children, because I'm sure these children, who are probably adults now, want to move on. As well as that, CECIL is an online bully. He's an online abuser, and that has to stop as well. So we have to put a stop to that. We can't keep encouraging that. We can't, and we don't encourage that, obviously. But for the sake of other people, I mean, there's people out there that are not as strong as some of us, and it only takes somebody like CECIL to say something bad for them to go downhill pretty quickly, if you know what I'm saying. So I want to resolve this as soon as possible before somebody gets hurt. You know what I mean? But thank you for the reply. I really appreciate it. I wish I was living near people like Shredder and Order of Magnitude and that, because I'm actually isolated. At the moment I don't know anybody. My car broke down a couple of days ago, and I had no one to turn to. A random stranger came along and helped me out and stuff like that, and I still have to try and find a mechanic and that. There's no one to help me. So yeah, it's been sort of difficult in that. But yeah, I'm going to leave that one for now. Talk to you soon. Bye.